Alright, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I'm going to keep this one rather short, straight to the point, because I have a very particular thing that I just found out myself, to be honest, that I think will give some insight for people on some of these facts that, just like you guys, I'm kind of learning as I go along. I'm a big tennis fan. I'm a big Novak Djokovic fan. Those of you that are subscribed to my YouTube channel would already know this. But it's little things like this and why I always say in the videos that I'm no perfectionist, I'm not perfect, and these videos will never be perfect, but I'm just here to have fun. This is my YouTube channel where I can give my thoughts and opinions, and I'm just a Novak Djokovic fan. But you know, when people present facts and when we learn the facts, I'm okay with admitting them. I'm just here to debate my opinion, and so everyone's free to have their own opinion. If you disagree, you're welcome to start your own YouTube channel and make your own videos. As I always say in the videos, I'm trying to keep up with all these other content creators that are talking about tennis and whatnot because I love this sport. I only hope to see more people learn about it and be able to play it. As a tennis coach right now in Richmond, Virginia, I love when my clients finally realize as they start to progress and get to 2.5 to 3.0 in the USTA rankings, they realize that this sport is a lot more difficult than it looks. It's a lot more difficult than a lot of other sports, to be honest. As I sort of break it down, I break it down into basics, and I have adults, grown men, playing from the service line 10 weeks at a time. You know, we don't get to the baseline because I have a different perspective. I like to believe I play sort of like Novak Djokovic, and I love his mentality. I love the way he plays, and I see it in a certain way where I try to teach that, and I just believe that Novak has the best tennis game you can have, in my opinion. It's the easiest to replicate out of the big three. We're talking about the GOAT 2 minutes into this video. Let's go ahead and get into it. As I said, I'm going to keep it rather short. I've got it up right here in Google from Wikipedia. I'll still leave a link down below for those of you that want to check it out. But Roger Federer has the most amount of weeks, consecutive weeks, at number 1, 237. And as the title says, that's why Novak Djokovic will not be deemed the greatest of all time or given the title of the GOAT. He is indeed the current holder of the most weeks at number 1 at exactly 336 weeks at the time of making this video, August 30th, 2021. I cannot believe this year is already almost over. But my promise to you guys is I'm about to be very consistent here on this YouTube channel and push myself even harder than I've ever pushed myself as a Scholar Roll student in school, a college graduate with my bachelor's degree, someone who is working hard to build multiple businesses and just do better in life. A little bit about my story. As I always try to tell you guys, or always say, I'm trying my best to share a little bit more about me also, and this YouTube channel is just one that I have for fun. I'm so thankful for the growth that it has had up until this point. I think we're at 242 subscribers. We were at 243, but I think when I just checked we lost a subscriber, which does happen, and that's okay. I know with the different types of content, you guys aren't going to necessarily want to see different types. That's what I always try to say in the beginning of the video. This one's for tennis, this one's for this, and I know the majority of my subscribers are tennis fans at the moment, so I appreciate you guys. There will be tons of tennis related content. Let's finish off with my main point that I have for this video to sort of wrap it up. Why Novak Djokovic won't be deemed the greatest of all time just because Roger has the most consecutive weeks at 237 weeks. He's ahead of everyone. He's ahead of Jimmy Connors, Ivan Lendl, Pete Sampras, Novak Djokovic, Jimmy Connors, everyone. Roger Federer, in that regards, has that sort of, he has that accolade to his name. And I have these debates with friends all the time. I made a video talking about who is the greatest of all time. I broke down my opinion on Novak Djokovic versus Roger Federer versus Rafael Nadal. I don't think anyone else can even be compared to these guys at this point. No offense to Andy Murray or anyone else that has been compared, but those three have just put themselves into another level. Now, why do I think Novak Djokovic will never get the title of being the greatest of all time? First off, the public opinion just won't let it happen, especially not if you live in the West. He will always be the greatest of all time. He was the greatest of all time. Even when he was 20 years old, I think, and when he won his first Grand Slam, Serbia loved him. And in that particular country, his home country, he is the greatest of all time. But here in the West, the media just will not let go of his past, and then certain things that he has done as of late, his behavior on the court predominantly, just it isn't as admirable as the way Roger and Rafa have behaved. To each their own. I mean, he smash a racket. Oh my goodness, you know, he's not perfect, and I don't think anyone is, and I think I'd rather have someone who's more upfront, honest, and is themselves is more of a character than just the cookie cutter, stereotypical, like perfect wannabe tennis player type person. We've moved on from that, at least I hope, and we have more characters, which is why I'm a big fan of Nick Kyrgios, and I made a video on that, but we're not going to dive off. I just wanted to give some more insight into other things. Future more videos on tennis are coming. I'm about to record a couple more videos for you guys, but wrapping it up off with that particular topic, that's why Novak will not get the title of greatest of all time, because at least what everyone has been saying when I say that Novak is the GOAT is they say that he just has all the titles, he has all the records, but he won't have the admiration, he won't have the fame that Roger and Rafa have. And to finish off with these last few seconds, Roger was #1 for a long time, consistently, and Rafa will just be loved just because it's Rafa. He has that nickname and the characteristics about him, but they dominated for such a long time, a time that tennis had so much more attention, in my opinion, that mattered to people. Now it's like there's so many different names, Tsitsipas, even though there were a lot of names, Davydenko, Ferrer, you can't disrespect those guys back then. But Roger and Rafa were so dominant for so long. Novak is the same thing. I mean, we cannot ignore the fact that the man has won, I believe it's 10 or 11 Grand Slams. He only had 2 Grand Slams, or 1 Grand Slam at the start of 2011, and since then now he has 20, about to be 21 once he wins this US Open here in 2021. That's pretty darn ridiculous. So people want to argue Rafa and Roger are older, they're out of their prime. Sure, that's a respectable opinion, but at the same time, we can't ignore the fact that Novak has done this, and he was around while they were still so dominant. He was right there behind them. So that's why I think he's the GOAT, but I strongly believe that people will never give him the title of the GOAT because those guys dominated for so long. So I'm going to wrap up the video right here. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.